it was bothering him?
Smirky
Yeah.
face.
Because you're always like,
Overfocused. Maybe it's called overfocused.
Yeah, maybe.
we're here with Jovana, but I think that as a jewelry designer and as someone with a wealth of knowledge about things, which we'll discuss, I think you should just go by your first name. I think Jovana is, what's your last name?
Djuric.
See? I wanted you to say it, but I think you should go by your first name. I think all the most successful people end up going by their first name.
Don't strip me of my identity.
I don't stripping you of your identity. You can have your identity. I just got in trouble by Jovana Djuric for not for stripping her of her identity. That's what I was trying to do there. You came on here last time, and I thought we were going to talk all about jewelry, and we ended up talking about jewelry is so interesting, and I love it, but really interesting things. And I was fascinated by the fact that you where your thoughts take you, what you think about things, where you go. What's going on with you? What are you up to these days?
I'm preparing for a show. I'm stressing out, preparing for the show.
Is this
on next
stress?
Yes, on Thursday, and this is also me a little bit sick.
Jeez, everyone that comes on the show is a little bit sick. I just laid in your lap. You didn't even tell me you were sick.
Well, I don't think I was the word nurture any germs in this area.
Okay.
Contagious.
Where are you nurturing your germs? What do you have? How are you sick?
I think I'm sick.
You have a cold?
I really don't know.
Okay. Well, you are the second guest. Both have long hair. Both very introspective that came on here who's not quite sure exactly what they have. But I hope you feel better.
Thank you. Yeah, I just
The
had
sunglasses. You might want to put these sunglasses on. They can make me feel better all day.
I can have.
No. You are a very good-looking woman, and I worry that that's going to.
She looks good with those. Do I look that good?
It's hard for her to look bad. Let me see.
But
what I
not
look
for
like.
me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Nope, that's okay.
Yes.
I don't want someone to take a screen grab and then I'm screwed.
What do you say?
Don't want to know what I'm saying. So what does that mean, preparing for a show? You have to design all new jewelry?
No, I'm doing the same jewelry, but I'm because it's a different space from what I've done before. I want to do space-specific installation things.
It's just undressed. Is that inappropriate if we start undressing?
No, I think
Yeah.
that's good. I
can only do one layer. I have one more layer and I'm exposing myself. Okay. There we go. Okay, so you don't know the space. You got to put your jewelry out. You get stressed. How do you handle stress?
By being focused and doing what I need to do.
So just plowing through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like
Are you like, do you overeat? Do you undereat? Do you not get sleep? Are you up all night worrying? Like, what kind of...
I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night worrying, or I wake up like 5 a.m.
Does Jenna texting you now at 5? I got text from Jenna at 4:20 this morning.
Sorry about that.
No, but...
You should like that I'm really on board with the show and you're the first thing I think about.
I love receiving texts from you at 4:20 in the morning. I was actually singing your praises at 4:20 when I looked at my phone and I was like, I have to wake up in 40 minutes. I was like, thank you, Jenna, for waking me up a little earlier.
Oh, see?
I only had my alarm set for 5 o'clock this morning.
See, you're welcome.
I now will not be able to fall back asleep.
So I've heard that's one of the habits of hugely successful people.
Is what?
Waking up super early.
I wake up at 4 every day. I do work from 4 to 5 because nobody bothers me. I'm super focused, like ridiculously focused when you wake up that early.
And why do you think you are that focused?
I mean, look, there's one thing to say you're a morning person, then there's the other thing to say that you are not hampered by any distractions whatsoever. And I don't so mean distractions like little people running around, but you're not distracted by light or television or media or social media or technology or anything. It's just you.
But do you think there is something even deeper than that?
Let's go deeper. Tell me.
No, I'm just thinking like I mean, social media is in a way new invention, and it's like, and maybe kids in your life also are like somewhat new, right?
Right.
So did you feel like that about working from 4 to 5?
So let me tell you something interesting. Most people, when they were in college, they would study at night, go to sleep, wake up, and take the test. I always went to bed early, 8, 9 o'clock, and I woke up at 3 a.m. and I studied from 3 until whenever I finished studying. And, if I got done 3 to 5, then I would go back to sleep and I'd get an extra hour of sleep, and I would wake up and it would all retain the information. I could not stay up late. I always would wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning. And study.
Me too. So that's what I'm wondering. So like obviously you have a specific connection to that early. It's almost like for me, I think it's kind of like grabbing. Maybe grabbing is the wrong word, but like grabbing those like hours before the day even starts.
Right.
So you're like making sure you have a head start, and then when you have a head start, you're like over proud of yourself and even over focused.
That's how I get. But
yeah,
I get laughed at, right? So I am a little bit of an over preparer with everything. Even at night when I go to sleep, like I pour the baby's milk into the bottle, so it's one less step, and sometimes I put the oatmeal in the bowl so it's easier for her in the morning. I just lay my outfit out. I have my bag packed. Like, yes, it takes a little more work at night, but what it does for my morning routine, it helps me out immensely, and I feel so accomplished when I do that. Don't you?
Yeah,
when you get head start on a project or anything like that.
Totally.
That being said, you've got this art thing that you're a little bit stressed about.
Yeah. No, I'm only stressed because it's there are a lot of steps, and I also like want to do everything from the scratch. So I've been, I'm sometimes accused of like wanting to do too many things in the same time, or like going overboard with some stuff that I.
No, you want what you want.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't have to apologize for that.
Exactly.
Sometimes I apologize to Lance because I want what I want, and he says, but we're doing it this way. And I say, oh, okay. And I feel bad because I don't want you to get mad at me.
Why do I ever get mad at you?
That's what he says. I think you get mad at 4:20 in the morning when the text.
I wasn't mad. I was actually highly appreciative. I was just like, oh wow, thank you, Jennifer, for thinking of me at 4:20 in the morning.
That's.
I said like you got. What did I just say?
Yeah,
I said
like
I was getting up.
Yeah.
I was only getting up at 5. Now I got to wake up.
And why were you waking up at 5?
To drive her.
Oh,
I actually had a meeting before this, so I drove in early.
He works a lot.
Yeah.
You probably just slept until about an hour ago. Woke up and rolled into this joint, right?
No.
Okay.
No, but I think it's interesting what you said that that maybe by me saying that I'm stressed out and that I'm concerned about certain things because I'm going overboard with preparation, that I may be like trying to apologize. So
yes, but you say you don't believe in that.
No. So no, I think maybe I'm not even aware of it, but I'm apologizing for wanting to going overboard with preparation for my show.
I don't think there's any such thing. You need to want what you want the way you want it. It's your show.
Totally. So in the light of that, maybe just like I don't even have like, since I'm just proceeding with what I want, I shouldn't even be stressed out.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm not.
What did I just do? What just happened? Did I just helped a human? That's what I did.
Yes, you said.
Hashtag helped a human. That's what just happened right now.
Totally. No. I think it's a good point.
No, look, there's only really 2 things that stress us out, like work and personal stuff. Are you dating?
I'm not going there in this conversation.
So if that's not stressing you out, then it has to be work.
So date with Jovana's out.
Date with Jovana's out. Now the guests we had on 3 people before you only went there. So that is a very big difference from her to you. She wouldn't go here, she only went there. You won't go there, you'll only go here.
Yeah,
make sure I have that.
Since yesterday.
Yesterday,
yes. Because I decided that I'm going to incubate in myself. I need to.
No, I'm not sure we got that right.
No, I need to. I'm focusing on myself right now. I'm not sharing any.
That ended that yesterday. Since you made that decision yesterday, knowing you were going to be on the show today. Like you could make that decision, say
what
tomorrow.
What happened yesterday?
I just had a insightful conversation with somebody and decided to, not. I decided to like narrow in my focus on myself and my most immediate priorities.
And not men right now.
No.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. That's great.
Totally.
And you're young, and you.
If somebody like comes like does this and like grabs me and in a like metaphorical way, then.
I mean, even in a non-metaphorical way. If somebody comes and grabs you like
that's
that.
Actually these
but
days.
Then,
That's
these days, yeah, exactly.
That's actually.
No, that I was going to say.
I mean, your team might be able to still do that. My team is not even allowed to utter that in the locker room.
One of our big locker room theme. One of our themes today has been my team and Lance's team, playing for 2 different teams and talking about the differences. And
I know. I mean, I watch politics every day, constantly.
Are you saddened by politics in our country? Is that the word? Or are you
saddened?
No.
Is maybe too. It's like it's even worse than sadness. It's like it's a deep disillusion.
okay? Now you were born and raised here.
I know.
No, so even though you've been here for a while, you're still some semblance of an outsider looking in on the way politics
totally.
works.
I think so. Yeah, I grew up in a totally different system. Like when I was a little child, my country was still communist. Then it was changing into socialist, and then we had like attempt at democracy, and now we're, I think,
What country was that?
Serbia.
So we're still like in the making.
Okay.
And that's it was like a painful, like a multi-layered, painful process for like some people more, for some people less. But it definitely super interesting angle to have, and then to come here.
Yeah. What do you think of what's happening here?
I think there's like a lot of good, painful but good things that are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think. I think like refocusing on manufacturing and labor force United States is definitely super important. I don't think that this can be a country of only managers.
Correct.
And project managers and like CEOs and stuff. Like I think there's so many people with two hands that need to utilize their like 14-hour days. So believing that this can be only service-based in like country on like health and education, it's just like who came up with that? There was like some economist, I forget his name. He may even gotten a huge award in 2010 or sometime before.
No clue.
I forget. I didn't want to even look him up. But
are you disillusioned by the state of politics right now? I mean, are you following it, or do you not really?
Yeah, well, there are a lot of people who came from my country who just don't even want to follow because, they really don't agree with the neo-colonial liberal capitalism, structure of.
But
American
more than that,
politics.
the people that are leading that division, you're supposed to have the strongest leader, your brightest leaders, your most focused leaders are the ones that are going to take you into battle, and we've narrowed it down to 2. And I wonder if someone from another country looking at our 2 wonders, so this is it. This is
No, it's pathetic. it's super pathetic.
Okay.
And it's mind blowing that all the people who surface and ask for power are some that have like the worst record of behavior. From the baby wiener to like all these other guys like soliciting sex in bathrooms while being gay, while being like so against gays. Like it's like, how is it possible like that some humans who are so visible are so so strongly against something while they're actually doing it? I mean, do it, but what I mean, that's like going into their psychosis. But
I mean, it happens everywhere. We hear about it in the political realm, but you're right. Absolutely, be who you are, fight for it. But it's tough because of social media now. Like everyone is documented everywhere, right? So wherever you go and whatever you do and whatever you think and whatever you believe, like everybody knows everything about everyone. We've left little left up to the imagination. There's very little privacy left. But so if you're going to get caught, I mean, if you're going to do something, there's a really good chance.
But it seems like people are even less having like a less, what's the word? Like they're less mediated. It feels like people are like almost like emboldened even in their behavior through like Twitter and stuff, like stream of consciousness, like type of a statement that not even Trump but everybody, even I sometimes when I tweet, I'm super specific, and I usually complain to MTA about trains. That's almost like the only thing that I use Twitter for, because I want to be like, I kind of imagine like I have their ears, so I want to yell at them.
Yeah, that's how I am about airlines. Like, I feel like if I'm on an airline it's
Exactly.
delayed, I'm like, dear at American Air, like, we're delayed 8 minutes, like, leaving North Carolina. What are you gonna do? And then I sit there and I wait, and I'm like, refresh. And then if they write back, I'm like, oh my God, American Airlines wrote back to me. They're talking to me, but like all they say is good luck. But it's funny.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that like maybe with social media and like believing that we have somebody's ear, we sometimes feel like we can just be like very specific and like either whisper or yell in somebody's ear, almost as being on the same level. So that also created maybe like on the other hand this.
But would you? I guess I'm saying, like, if you were in Serbia, would you ever in a million years have a circumstance where, like this Access Hollywood tape, would anything like that have happened in that people that your country would know about, they would have access to? I mean, does that stuff even happen, that they're digging through tapes, they're putting up hidden audio? I mean, is that scandalous there?
No, I think maybe they are. I mean, like they're like, you know, in our parts of the world, they're political executions. You know, it's like I think that those things happen, like and we had civil wars, so like, you know, different rules apply with the like economic embargo that we had, and then bombing and then all, and like world in transition, like whole Eastern Bloc after the fall of USSR.
When did you move here?
In 2000.
Oh, you did.
So I went through all the stages of like kind of like this early decay and growing pains.
Yes.
And then like there's still growing pains in the whole Eastern Bloc. But having said that, thinking about family and whether, you know, you would like, I don't think that we don't have a culture of bullying. We don't have a culture of disrespect of elders or weak. Like we don't have. I mean, I don't remember seeing that on the street or experiencing that with my peers. Like and sexual harassment, like you didn't have to fear that.
Yeah.
So it's really here, like it feels like it's like really predatory. I mean, it's predatory in every level because it's like Wild West. Like you can run away with doing something like for like 7 or 10 years before you get caught.
Did you get caught?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You had LLC, and I mean, if you're like, I mean, I'm talking about not only personal but business wise too. Like you can have like a bad product that poisons people. You had LLC, you know, like some people were like feeding off of it, like, you know, throughout time. Like you cannot prove this, you cannot that. There are people like that, you know.
Right.
By the time you get caught, like you're already, you know, you already have another company or you declared bankruptcy. Like so you're not fully accountable for. So I think like that free reign, openness and opportunity, which is a good side, also fosters this predatory bullying behavior that now has to get corrected.
You seem a little stressed out about it all.
I do?
Yeah, you seem a little stressed out. It's almost as if you've been waiting for someone to ask you about it, and you were like, besides the MTA, I have a few other things I want to get out of my chest.
I got the MTA off my chest.
Now that I got the MTA off my chest,
neocolonialism, which
let
we'll
me
get into a little bit
talk
later.
about neocolonialism.
Okay, well, you know, maybe.
No, I'm kidding. We don't have to. I was just making fun because you're cute when you get all. I mean that in the very just having a guest on the show kind of way. It's cute and it's great, and you have great ideas, and I love the fact that you're constantly thinking about this. I mean, we have people that are born and raised, live and die in this country, and these things never come up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and you know, maybe I can take it down a notch.
No,
I think
stay where you are. Keep the notch.
Yeah.
You don't need to take it down on my account. I want you to keep it there. But now that you're not, there's no other release because you decided you're not dating anymore. It's just about you. I worry what that's going to do to the poor Jewelry. I worry that she's going to take her.
The poor MTA.
Focus. Forget the MTA. They're screwed.
The MTA is going to start
MTA
getting
is screwed, babes. You know that. But
Yeah.
I just worry that I want to know what your release is. Like, where do you find, how do you relax?
Well, that's a new topic then. I mean, I didn't know I needed to have, you know, I didn't know that things function like that, like that you have to have a release.
I think that you don't have to have anything, but I think that I think too much focus and too much is going to require you to release in one capacity or another. And maybe it doesn't manifest itself as like going out and drinking, but it could in like not, you know, letting down your guard with the MTA or like not focusing on your jewelry or some way where you don't want it to. So I'm just curious if you're not gonna like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not closing doors on dating.
Now she's not closing. Now she's like, well, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Well, the door's not closed. It's just like, it's like a jar. The jar is
totally.
a jar.
No, totally. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you can get unscrewed.
I guarantee you there
can
are
get
people out
unscrewed.
there that would think there's no way this woman could shut herself off for dating. You can't. You can't do it.
Yeah, I'm just, you know.
You're too interesting. You got too much going on.
But it's,
And I thought this was sunscreen. I was like, you didn't rub that in. She's like, that's fashion. I was like, oh, sorry about that.
yeah, it's more than fashion.
I know it is. I don't know what to call it. I called it fashion. My apologies. It's like a tribe called Quest. It's a tribe called Quest.
Yeah, it's tribe.
Tell me, I don't
It's
know what
tribal.
it is. It's tribal?
Yeah, it's join my tribe.
It's the what happened?
It's join my tribe.
Oh, join my tribe. I thought you said the Joy Luck tribe. I was like,
No.
okay.
She has her team that she's
Oh, do you want me to play on your team?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like you start somewhere.
Yeah.
You start first with like, you know, this, then you say like I have a tribe, then you say like join my tribe, then you go and have a party and stuff like that.
I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about, and I think it's interesting.
It sounds good with the accent, right?
Anything with the accent and that outfit, I'm like, makes sense to me, right? I
It would
mean,
make sense.
Yeah.
sure, I'll join your tribe. No problem. Where do I sign?
I'm a free agent.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
maybe
I'm not the
part-time.
MVP, so.
Are you sure you're not the MVP? We still need to have the.
No, there are far more.
We had Billie Jean King.
There are really
Who did you think was the
successful.
MVP out of that group?
Probably, I
Ellen?
mean,
Or
probably Billie Jean, I guess. Ellen and Maite today, my times. You know,
So there's
stood
like,
up for something, got fired, came back.
who's the Mount Rushmore of?
Who's the Mount? Do you understand what we're talking about?
Not really. I know what's Mount Rushmore. That's like a
Earlier,
chiseled.
in an earlier segment today,
Who's the Mount
we
Rushmore?
were talking about the MVP of the lesbian team.
Like, who's the most famous?
Who's
is
the
that
most
am I
famous?
not allowed to use that word?
Who's
Yeah,
the
why
most
not?
famous lesbian?
I just haven't. Yeah.
In United States.
Yeah, I
In the
noticed that you
wherever
don't use
of all
that
time.
For who I really liked a lot. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
a little segue.
Yeah.
And I just like I had like her image popped in my
Let
before
me
my
hear
eyes.
who popped between your eyes.
Susan Sontag.
Oh yeah,
I really like her a lot.
yeah.
And then she was with Danny Leibovitz. So that's
Yes.
a famous person.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Who's has a broader appeal?
Well, we were thinking Jenna, but
No, it's not.
Jenna,
I'm not
Ellen.
even on the like Hall of Fame team.
no, you're not on the Mount Rushmore.
Forget Mount Rushmore. I'm not even on
So
like
who was
the.
your Mount Rushmore?
I don't know.
You
I
had
have
Billie
to
Jean.
think.
Well, Ellen. You had what's her name, Rosie. Those were.
I used to love Jodie Foster.
Oh, Jodie Foster plays on that team.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
used to love Jodie Foster too.
so did I.
How'd that work out? How did she end up on that team? Remember that?
She was always on that team, I think.
She was.
She came
How
out.
she ended up on
I
that?
know.
She was dragged.
She she
thought
gave
that
a
movie
big
was,
Oscar speech, right? A couple
Oh,
years
right,
back.
right.
And she like came out without coming out. She's with her partner. She's with actually this awesome photographer now, who was on the L episode of the season of the L Word. Another beautiful. They're both beautiful, lovely people. I don't know them. I don't know why I said that.
Who else?
I'm gonna
Who
stop
else?
talking now.
Who else is famous?
Is Gloria Steinem on that team, or is Gloria Steinem?
I don't think so.
She's just on the feminist team.
Yeah, well,
It's a thin line.
she
I
was
know, I'm trying to
she was the one who said that Bernie's team is big, like of the followers, millennials followers, because the girls want to get dates with cute
Really?
boys, so that she got really bad.
Pressed for that.
Yeah,
Ah, interesting.
so I think she's playing for
For a different team.
different team.
Megan Mitchell actually is asking Jenna what your coming out process was like.
Oh, I went through a whole thing about that.
Yes.
How do you want me to bridge that story? Actually, you want to know the honest to God truth? The truth is, we ended up, the way it happened, the real, like, the first store I tried 10 years prior, and it didn't take, so I went back to dating guys again because it didn't work, and then I came out on the Today Show again, years after that, because I was pregnant, and people were going to start asking questions. And
Because it's obvious to everyone if you're pregnant, but obviously.
well, everyone knew I wasn't married, and I wasn't married. And there were just going to be a lot of like, who's the father? Why is she getting pregnant? And I didn't want to lie to anybody.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the closet. I just didn't come out on TV. My friends and family knew. So it's, they
How much time was
closed door
there
meetings.
between the, not the acrobat, what was she?
Janine. It
Janine
was
was the,
probably 8
What
years.
what was she doing again?
Trapeze.
Trapeze. I'm
Trapeze,
sorry. She
acrobat.
was an acrobat. Okay. I had acrobat.
I'm telling
I couldn't
you,
find the word trapeze.
I was right, and she just didn't understand it because I used the wrong word. I used the word intrigue.
Intriguing.
I hit on
I find you
someone and I used
intriguing.
the
I
word
understand.
intrigue. I said, I'm very intrigued by you, and I don't think she understood what was happening, and she just said thank you and walked away. And I
Right,
was like
so
freaked
Jovana,
out.
So like Jovana's like when she was talking earlier about like figuratively being
Yeah.
grabbed. If you went up to Jovana and say like, "Hey, I'm intrigued by you," would you feel that figurative?
Like if I said to you, like if I took you out and I was like, listen, I want to tell you something. I've been watching you all week, and I love taking your trapeze class. It's so ridiculous. I just want you to know that I'm very intrigued by you. Like, would you know I was hitting on you?
No.
See, that was my fault, is I used the wrong word. It's because there was an episode of Golden Girls where one of...
Maud, and we found out this
No,
morning Maud was
I don't
on
want to
Mount
say
Rushmore.
that. I loved everything about the Golden Girls. But Blanche's friend came to visit and hit on Rose. And the Rose is the character. She was probably, 75 in the show, character. And the word she used, she goes, I just want to let you know, Rose, I'm very intrigued by you. And that word made her know that she was hitting on her. So as a young girl, I didn't know. I was like, oh, that must be the word that you use.
Yeah, it's like a
so
code.
I grew up,
Code.
It's a code word. That's Morse code for.
I
hey,
grew up and I was
I
like,
want to jump your
word
bones.
must be intrigue.
your team goes with I want to
Intrigue.
jump your bone. Your team
Yeah.
goes with intrigue, and
Yeah,
our team goes with I want to grab your.
Yeah.
Anyway, the way it worked on the Today Show, so I went back 7 years. I didn't do anything, and then Stephanie lived in London, and she moved here. We did long distance for 2 years. I got pregnant soon after she moved here, and we were going to announce it on the air. And they were like, we had closed door meetings, and we met with like the network presidents and vice presidents and publicists, and like how to do this. And People Magazine did like a whole thing on it. Like I didn't think it was that important. And then we came out, and I sat on the set, and when I give my speech, I talk about hitting a crossroads in life. And everyone at one point in their life is struck with this crossroads. And if you are lucky enough to recognize it, and if you are brave enough to do something about it, you win. But most people, they don't notice it, right? They're just going with blinders. They go, they don't see that they've been given an opportunity to make a life to left or right. And only when it's too late do you actually realize it.
Yeah.
But those of us who are lucky enough to say, hey, I'm at a crossroads. Like, I'm going to stop and make a decision. And that's what this was for me, was doing this. And either you stay in the closet and go this way, which is fine. I don't fault anybody for anything, or you do something about it. And I did, and I came out, and I sort of held my breath, and I braced myself for what I thought was going to be like horrific backlash, and there actually wasn't. People were really supportive and really sweet and really kind, and that was it.
Yeah. I think we all appreciate, when we hear something coming out of somebody that sounds truthful.
Yes.
Like, I really don't even, like, to even go further, like, I don't even have trouble with jerks, like people who are like, people who say not necessarily bad things, but and like not things that are like aggressive towards somebody, but just like somebody, who's like a little bit like rough around the edges, or like like crude or something like
Excuse
bless
me.
you.
I'm so
I don't
sorry.
even have a problem with that, because it's kind of like a little bit how they are.
It's their truth.
Yeah.
I understand that. Did I answer her question?
Yes, actually, she has a few more comments here. So this is Megan Mitchell asked that question, and
Let's see.
got done. I gotta get.
Here we go.
Okay, so there's a bunch here. Okay, she's saying that she's the weekend morning anchor, hey, for the NBC affiliate in Cincinnati.
Hi, how are you, Megan?
I don't know that that's WKRP. Remember WKRP
I do,
in
in
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati.
And she's gay. I've been out since, she's saying she's been out since she was 18. But she was wondering if you had any advice for coming out in the public eye and what to consider. And then there's an also interned at NBC News and reached out to Steph Gossett to meet me for any advice before I go into the reporting world. She was so helpful in giving advice throughout my first job.
This is the same Megan?
Same Megan.
Wow, you have a connection to both of us. That's so cool. I assume you're already out. Do you still need the advice, or I just outed you? If you
No, I think she was
apologize.
asking for maybe for other people.
Look, I just say.
For coming out in the public eye. Maybe this.
Yeah,
maybe
you
this
know,
is her coming out in the
just
public eye.
like what Jovana just said, make it your truth. Make it. Own it. It's you. It's who you are. It should be as natural as having arms and legs. Like it is nothing. You know, like no one's putting you on a timeline. No one's got a gun to your head. You come out when you are ready to. There's no pressure to do it. But the world has changed in the last 5 years, and people
Because
are far more
because of Hall of
understanding and
Famers like you.
appreciative because of Hall of Famers like myself and soon to be Hall of Famer Jovana.
Oh, Jovana's being recruited to the other.
No, but
Jenna's been recruiting heavily.
Yeah.
No, I have not. That is a terrible thing to say. I just want everyone to be who they are.
And even if they're not there, you still want them to.
On a
If they're going
specific
to
night,
believe.
if you're not going to be who you are, then let it be on a night that we go out drinking. Let's just say that. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay,
but
Megan
yeah,
is
you
saying
be
that
who
she's
you are.
out to everyone in her life. I guess this is similar to what you were saying about yourself, but she never mentions it on the air.
Well, and the other part of my speech I say is, people were like, well, why didn't you? Well, there was never an opportunity to. It's never like, and Jen is here with more now. Jen, oh, thanks, Matt, I'm gay. Like, that's not how it works. Like, if it comes up, great, but it's not, you don't go on the air and say, hey, I date men. Like, it doesn't, that's not what comes up. So it shouldn't force the issue. When it comes up, it comes up. If you have a special announcement, fine. If you're getting married, if you're pregnant, whatever it is that your audience can celebrate with you, you have to love yourself and love what you're saying so people can love you and what you're saying as well. Do you agree?
I agree, and I think it's like when the less like emotional investment, fear, and stuff you have when you're making like any kind of a comment about yourself. So it's kind of like a plain truth.
Yeah.
The easier is going to be for people to accept it and relate to it. Like if they feel this like angst and sense of guilt, and you're like suffering through it, as you're saying, like people I think have it, like they don't know how to digest that information, and they sometimes also feel like they have a little tendency to like step on you a little bit, because when they see weak, they wanna hurt them a little bit more.
Absolutely. So don't be weak. You got this.
Okay, back to Megan here.
Who I'm just
Not part of the show. Actually, Megan,
show.
we're gonna have you on in person next time. Next time you're here, we take the show to Ohio. Which we should. Ohio's like, after New York, the best state in the country.
I lived there in Ohio.
Oh, you did? Where?
Yeah, in Cleveland, Pepper Pike.
Oh, cool.
What a great name for a city. Pepper
How
Pike.
long ago did you live in Cleveland?
That was the first place I landed, kind of. It was a family that I took care of their kids for like 3-4 months, in October of 2000.
In Pepper Pike.
Pepper Pike, close to Shaker Heights.
Oh. So Megan said, no joke, meaning you and Steph, helped me so much. We'll never forget how much that one day in March 2013 changed my life. What happened in March of 2013? I thought when
Was
you
that
guys
when I was
came-
on the air?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe that was
When you came, what's she saying?
Oh,
Well,
yeah, because
when
I
you
had
came
Harper in
out.
August. Thanks, Megan. That's right. It's obviously.
Hey.
Duh.
Megan has a better handle on your life.
Of course. Most people
I was
do.
in college at the time.
Oh, wow.
I guess she doesn't want to be on the date with Connor.
No, she's not going to want to take
She's not on
Connor.
Connor's team. I was in college at the time, and it was such a relieving moment. This is wonderful, by the way. Thank you for talking about this.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for joining in, Megan.
And Megan, let us know who else you would have. If you think Jenna should be on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, my. I don't even know if this is PC to talk about. Is it? It's,
Why isn't it?
I don't know.
We started talking about it. Like, why not? Like,
yeah, I guess.
If there's going to be a Hall of Fame, I mean, like,
But
you're
what-
the founding fathers of the movement. I mean, the founding fathers of the movement.
That in and of itself is not even right.
It's not. I mean,
Well, these were the founding mothers of the movement.
What?
We're not the founding fathers of the
I said
movement.
the founding mothers. I
Oh, the
corrected
founding
myself.
mothers.
I corrected myself. I was wrong.
Gotcha.
We said earlier it wasn't my first mistake of the day,
Right,
and
so
it's
now
not.
it's-
You pointed out it wasn't going to be my last.
Yeah,
and,
clearly.
And I've made a few in between,
Clearly.
even fashion mistakes.
You made that one. I made one with the tripod quest. I apologize.
Megan apologizes to you. # sorry, Connor. there's now going to be a hashtag
Hashtag
on.
sorry, Connor.
So
No,
hashtag
thanks,
sorry,
Connor.
Connor. Like date with Connor.
No,
I
thanks,
said that
Connor.
one doesn't pick up traction.
That could be cool if it does pick up traction. Sorry, #
Hey,
sorry.
wait a
Connor.
minute. Where's your show?
It's
I didn't even ask. Oh, worst.
it's a Pivot Gallery.
The what?
Pivot.
What?
Garib's
Pivot.
Pivot. Okay, what is
Pivot.
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 Piv.
It.
Pet peeve.
It's
Pet
not,
pivot.
even though there's an O, it's it. Pivot.
Pivot.
Yeah.
Pivot Gallery.
Downtown.
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
24th Street.
24th Street.
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, I can.
When?
Next Thursday.
Next
October
Thursday night.
20th.
Okay.
6 to 9. 6
Okay.
to 10.
And what do you do at a gallery? They're always too fancy for me. You just come and you walk around, or you just to buy
No.
stuff, or just look.
Everything. First, often you go to the opening to grab some wine.
Oh.
That's
okay.
that's the truth.
Okay.
You know, and you go to mingle, socialize, and check out the scene.
Okay.
And-
A scene checker. Okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're best and more like condensed checking out the scene than in a packed gallery.
Right.
So that's a great place to do it.
Love it.
And so you go in, you grab some wine, usually you have some people you say hi, and then maybe you glance at some artwork, and then you promise that you're going to come back some other time.
Oh,
And
so
there's,
I
like,
have
less
been to
people.
it.
In my situation, I actually go to these galleries, I talk to someone, and then I say, hey, would you want to be on the Jenna Wolf show? And Jovana says yes.
That's
that
how
how
we
you
met.
That's how we
Yeah.
met at
No,
Garrett's.
it isn't.
Yeah.
He came.
Yeah, it
I
was
was
a
at
Garrett
Garrett's
show.
show.
Yeah.
And
Why
I was-
Jovana?
Well, I was talking to Garrett, and
Right.
he's like, you got to talk to Jovana. You have to see. I was like, Garrett, we were talking about the show, and he's like, you have to have Jovana on the show. So I just talked
We
to
had you on the
Jovana.
show. How do you
Yeah.
know Gareb? Gareb Seamus started Comic-Con. He's now a big art dealer.
Artist.
He's an artist.
Yeah,
Artist.
he wanted to commit himself now
Yeah.
to art, so he's
Yeah.
really pushing. And,
Watch out.
and- yeah.
Watch out, Art World.
Totally.
Gareb Seamus is
Yeah.
not a failure at anything.
Yeah, so I got introduced. I was curating a show called White on White, and it was about like physicality of the process that I wanted to showcase in this show. And I reached out to some friends that I had, and I asked if they knew of some artists that they would recommend. And a friend of mine put me in contact with Gareb. I went and I saw his work, and I invited him to participate in a show that I was putting together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are you ever worried that no one's going to show up?
Not really. I mean, they may not show up, but I'm not worried about that.
See, that's my biggest worry, and maybe that's a reflection on me. Maybe that's
Well,
because
it's
I'm
confidence
insecure.
from inside yourself. Like if you know you're doing something right, it doesn't.
No,
really matter.
because goodbye parties, I'm worried no one's going to come. Birthday parties, I'm worried no one's
Can
going
I
to
tell
come.
you a funny
like,
story about that?
yeah.
So, I did this malaria work like about a decade ago. It's actually, there's some really good news on it yesterday. We partnered with the New York Knicks and UN Ministry of Sport. We had a big press conference, and we started this thing called Dunk Malaria. And I was just like, we were going to do a march around Manhattan for 24 hours, and it started off like in Times Square. It went to the Port Authority, went all the way up to Grant's Tomb, all around Manhattan, all over the place. So I'm all excited for it. I'm thinking there are going to be thousands of people. I started off at midnight in Times Square. I showed up, and there was an army of a single person. It was just me. Literally, it was just
Not
me.
one person showed
Not
up?
one other person showed up. I had like a moment where I was just like, okay, you're either going to do this or you're not going to do this, because nobody showed up. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to go do it myself. And I walked up to people. I had a Nerf basketball and a Nerf basketball hoop, and I just walked up to people. I wasn't asking them for money. I just wanted them to take a shot against malaria,
Yeah.
like combining basketball nets and bed nets. And I thought that, 90% of the people I walked up to, you imagine somebody walking up
Yeah.
to you at 3 o'clock in the morning in Times Square, say, hey, you want to take a shot?
Right.
I ended up getting 1,600 plus people to take the shot over the 24-hour
Nice.
period, and it was like it
Yeah.
was a big deal. But like certain times, you just, even though everybody's not there at the beginning,
Yeah.
if you're doing something,
Right.
it's almost by definition successful. Just because if you do and you believe in it, the other stuff will follow. Everybody will eventually catch on to what you're doing.
I mean, there's so many instances in popular music, with like a crazy popular bands or something,
Yeah.
or artists that started or a performance artist with fluxes and like events in like New York and then like London and stuff, where they would either do it just in somebody's like apartment,
right.
and it would be like, kind of like
Yeah.
wasting time, while
Right.
somebody's
Yes.
doing something. and then like, or maybe just like two of your friends show up or whatever, or nobody, and then those things like 2-3 decades later show up in anthologies as beginnings of something.
Yep.
And it's,
Not mine, other people, of course.
No, but it's definitely, it doesn't have to become a major, but for us, it's
got the
important.
process,
Yeah.
Actually, not to tease anything, but the last segment of the show was this Malcolm, David and Goliath book, by Malcolm Goliath. We'll actually talk. There's a chapter in there that actually addresses this specific issue. Which is
Nice.
how to sort of get through things.
Do you know that you're doing the last part of the show?
He whispered
I surprised
it to
her.
me.
You didn't tell her?
I just did. I
I
surprised
have
her.
to leave in like 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
And you're going to do the last half hour by yourself.
That's crazy.
So actually, Megan has a few more before we leave.
Great.
Megan.
Let me get
So
on Megan.
she has a spin on this whole Mount Rushmore concept,
Okay.
which is the Mount Rushmore of the lesbian news media,
Okay.
which includes you, Robin Roberts, Steph, Jane Shortall. You don't know Jane Shortall. And she said if Rachel Maddow,
Rachel
counts,
Maddow, yeah.
she can be on there too. And she so apologizes for all the questions, comments, but one more.
No, it's okay.
I promise, LOL. Best advice for anchoring a weekend morning show.
It's going to be the exact same advice I would give you about coming out. You have to absolutely love what you're doing. The minute you get on TV and you make it seem like you're like annoyed to be there, you make fun of the time slot, or you don't give 100% because you don't think anyone's watching, is the day you don't deserve that job. Because I will tell you that I did weekend mornings. I did weekend morning sports, 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Channel 7. Literally nobody watched. I gave 100%. I got up at 2:30 in the morning. I didn't have to be until 5. I got in at 3:30 so I could write everything fresh. Everyone else just rehashed everything from the night before. I recut everything. I always gave 100%. And it just so happened that the president of NBC News, like not Channel 4, NBC News, Steve Kappas, happened to be watching one Saturday morning at 6 a.m. He was up with a sick kid. And he was like, wow, she's really funny. Like, that's really great. And long story short, the Today Show hired me, and I left sports, and I was there for 10 years. Because you never know who's watching. So you have to just give it your best every time out.
There's actually two great sports quotes regarding that. Is Joe DiMaggio had this quote about how he always gave 100%. And he's like, there's somebody who might be watching me for the first time.
Right.
And so he's making that first impression. So no matter what the situation, he always gave 100%. And Bob Cousy, who was like a really good basketball player in the 50s and 60s, he said that when you should give your all no matter what, whenever you're doing something, even when nobody's watching, that's how you become great at something. It's all the time, like you're always striving for excellence no matter what the situation
right.
is.
And it's hard to do. It's not easy to do that.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
not like telling someone to go out and
Yeah.
I know that I perform better when people are watching, or if I'm in a class, or
There is some certain like a push or excitement, and we are all performative creatures.
Sure.
We like to tell stories.
Sure.
But I think even like so you are like giving your best because of this like idea of performance, and then you also give your best because whatever you do itself deserves your best.
Correct.
So it's kind of like then internalized. So it's not even about anybody
Right.
watching. But
Right.
It's just like
No, you're right.
if you're going to engage to the fullest.
Engage to the fullest. Anyone else?
Well, Megan actually says absolutely incredible.
Oh,
So.
thank you, Megan. This has been the Megan show, so that's awesome.
Well, we'll include Megan if she wants.
Next time she
and,
comes to New York. How do you feel comfortable about this?
Well, I don't know what it's going to be, but
I don't know what it's going to be either. I don't
we
know.
will try to do our best.
You're going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, just ask a question and
Just
let
ask
people...
for help.
Yeah.
We'll do well. We'll manage. We'll get through. So where are you going now?
So I'm going to shoot a segment for Dr. Oz.
Congrats.
Thank you. It's a segment on, it's actually interesting. You know all those meal delivery services? They come to you, like Blue Apron or whatever it is, they come with all the ingredients and you just have to put them together, but they give you all the ingredients. So what is cheaper and more nutritious and faster? That, or if you go to the supermarket and buy all the ingredients separately and try to cook it
Can
all,
you
put it
tell
all
us
together.
what you think?
I will. I've never cooked I've never touched raw meat. I've never cooked before in my life. And so I'm going to be cooking I haven't told them this. They're like, so you'll just cook the chicken and the fish in your kitchen and we're going to film you doing it.
So, oh, you're going to be downstairs?
Wow.
No, first I have to go to a supermarket. We're filming me going through the aisles and picking up everything, and then I come
And
back.
they're all going to
at,
be
like,
the
4
single
o'clock.
ingredient stuff, like so it's for the
Yes.
October 23rd.
For the most part.
What are we calling the
exciting.
October 23rd? We
I know,
actually
let's
have
come up
we
with
should actually
something.
put an event on the
Yeah.
our weatherman. We actually have a weather person coming on
I know,
tomorrow.
that's amazing.
Um,
Let's wrap this up. Darn
the
We didn't even talk about that.
Mark, that we should actually put.
I
an
just-
event
no, I brought
page-
it because
an
they
event
wanted
page
to
up
just
for
have
the
it
diet.
Just in case. You'll be
Yeah.
able to talk about it for another half hour now. Okay. So thank
we're
you
gonna
guys
Let
so
me grab
much.
a picture of you two.
Oh, yeah.
Before,
Let's
and
go.
then I'll
Yay.
pick up. We'll be back in a minute. I'll be staying behind the camera, and Jovana will be in front of the camera, and we'll work it out.
All right. All the best of luck to you. I'm sure we won't have a show tomorrow.